Hey music fans! As a roadie, I had this great opportunity to tour with all these bands. I wrote a book about my experiences on the road, and it was the #1 new release on Amazon and Bios, and it's now sold millions of copies on Kindle. I'm Joel Roadie, and this is my podcast, Party Like a Rock Star. Okay, so here it is. 1 bazillion episodes of Over the Hill and Far Away. There's so many. I really enjoyed each and every one of them. I like putting them all together. I know it doesn't get a bazillion views, but there was a bazillion videos. But nonetheless, it's cool. If you like to dissect and really get to know a track like I do, then this is the way to listen to it a hell of a lot of times. We start with Gary Moore. We end with Tommy Johansson. You guys can let us know which are the best versions. There's so many here of it. Who'd you like best? Maybe certain aspects of different versions were great for you. For me, there was some really wonderful stuff coming and going here. Loved Tommy's guitar. I loved Marco singing, and I wish he did his own version. Just him doing all the vocals. I think that'd be something special. Anyhow, let's jump into this. I hope you guys enjoy. So we'll see, but this could start a whole new series. This is a track I am not familiar with, I don't think. It's Gary Moore. I've heard of Gary Moore. I know who he is. But I don't know this track, I don't think. It's Over the Hills and Far Away. And here's the deal. I looked up Nightwish. I was just going to find a track I hadn't heard before, and I found this. And then I found out it was actually done by Gary Moore. And then I found out it had been covered by Tommy Johansson and other people that I like. So I was like, this might be really, really cool. At the very least, it's got to be a good track. Otherwise, all these people that I personally like wouldn't have covered it. Let's jump into Gary Moore's version first here. I believe this is the official music video. I think it's back in 1987. But let's give it a go and let's see how good it is. Fingers crossed. Let's do this. Came for here one winter
see. Back in his arms again, she'll be over the hills and far away. He swears he will return one day, as sure as a river reaches the sea. Back in his arms is where she'll be, over the hills and far away. She prays he will return one day, as sure as a river reaches the sea. Back in her arms is where he'll be, over the
Got a smile out of the little kid at the end. Got a smile out of me, the big kid. That was super, super good. I loved the video itself. I thought the video looked awesome. I liked him standing there on this cool set. Very 80s, very neat. Super 80s hair. I dug it. Lyrically, we got to listen to the lyrics a little more, but it was pretty tough guy stuff. You know, spent the night with his best friend's wife, and then he went to jail. This guy. So, I don't know. I listened to it slightly unfairly, possibly, because I was intrigued knowing what did Nightwish do with this track? What did Tommy Johansson do with this track? What did Dan Vasc do with this track? Because I've cheated and I've seen ahead. So a little bit cheat on Gary Moore in that I didn't listen to it full for him. But I loved how he performed it. It's got a cool hook. The violin was super cool, man. Super, super, super cool. Love that there was a clarinet in there. I used to play clarinet very poorly, but I dig the instrument. So I think this is neat. Now, I did find a live version of him doing this in 2010, so it's way ahead. We're going to jump into that next, and I'm going to give it a go before I jump into anybody else's. I want to understand Gary's original version as well as I can. And what I'm smiling about here is I'm super stoked about jumping into this song deep because I think this song's awesome. So let's do this, guys. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you all on the next one. So I found myself whistling this track as soon as it finished. I just watched the music video for the very first time. Never heard the song before that. I totally dug it. And it's true, as soon as it ended, I was like... so I'm like, I guess that's a sign I dig the track. This is cool. This is going to be a 7-minute live version. I think this is going to be awesome. My gut is we'll have a bit of time with some clapping and stuff, but maybe we'll get an extended guitar solo or something cool. Second time I ever listened to this song. Let's give it a go. Gary Moore.
stand. Had to fight back tears of rage. His heart beat like a drum. You without alibi. Tomorrow's night for his freedom. Over the hills and far away. But then God will see count the days. Far from the mountains and the seas. A prisoner's life for him will be. Over the hills and over the hills and over the hills and far away. He sat within his prison cell. He looks at through the bars. He reads the letters that she wrote. One day he'll know the taste of freedom. Over the hills and far away. She prays he will return one day. As sure as the rivers reach the seas, back in his arms again she'll be. Over the hills and far away. Thousand days, sure as the river reach the seas, back in his arms is where she'll be. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills, far away.
I haven't enjoyed a performance like that in a really long time. I just thought that was freaking incredible. At the end, I kind of forgot to breathe for a little while. I swear it's totally true. There's 30 seconds left. I looked, I was like, oh, better start breathing again. Why did I like it so much? The tone of that guitar is so amazing. I've only listened to this 2 times. This is my 2nd time ever, for real. And I'm already humming along with the track. That's a hook. That's how it's done. He's not the greatest singer in the world in this, but he's a little older in this performance. He's a little heavy set and maybe a little bit out of wind. However, it was sort of like an aged glass of bourbon. It's why I like Tom Waits so much. It's why I like Townes Van Zandt so much. These guys who have performed their track for ages, they're doing these tracks and they know them so well. You know, there's this coolness to it. There's this grit to the way he sang it. And his guitar just completely makes up for any lacking ability in vocals. That being said, I really actually enjoyed the backing vocalist, the keyboard player, too. I thought he was really good. So he deserves a shout out. But the strength here was just that wonderful guitar just soaring through the heavens, man. It was a spiritual experience and maybe one of the best live performances I've ever watched. I just really, really was into this. Now, all this being said, I was totally going to jump in to see what Nightwish does it. I'm intrigued to see what Empu does with it on the guitar. I'm intrigued to see what Tommy Johansson does with it on the guitar. But before I do that, I'm going to see if I can find another live performance from Gary Moore, just because I like that so very, very much. There's no rush here, you know, and I want to take my time and enjoy this like a fine, fine glass of whiskey or something, because, man, I just can't say enough of how awesome that was. Let's see what else we can find live, and then we'll jump into the other covers and the Nightwish stuff or whatever. But hopefully you guys enjoy this ride with me. Had you ever seen this performance before? Are you guys as blown away as me here? Because that was so good. Thanks, guys. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. So I may have told a little lie here to you guys, a fib. I think I'm going to explore some more Gary Moore before I jump onto other versions. I haven't heard any of those yet, and I kind of want to enjoy where I'm at the moment. So I found a number of performances with Gary performing this track in 1987. And we're going to do those performances that I found on YouTube, and then we'll jump into some Nightwish, and we'll see what they did with the track. This is from the Top of the Pops show. It's on January 1st, 1987. Let's do this.
They came for him one winter's night. Arrested, he was bound. They said there'd been a robbery. His pistol had been found. They marched him to the station house. He waited till the dawn, and as they led him to the dock, he knew that he had been wronged. You stand accused of robbery, he heard the bailiff say. He knew without an alibi, tomorrow's light would mourn his freedom over the hills and far away.
So I'm enjoying the performance, but correct me if I'm wrong, might be way wrong here, but I think he's lip syncing. I don't think Gary's actually singing this track on this performance. You guys can let me know, but start looking here and see what you guys think. But they sure look cool. I love the raincoat and everything. Drummer's crushing it. And it's the same keyboard player there as that 2010 performance, which is what started wanting me to see him do some live stuff. But he's got a lot more hair here. And he's crushing it. He's got quite a lot going on.
For 10 long years he'll tell through these, over the mountains and the seas. A prisoner's life for him there'll be. He knew that it would cost him dear, but yet he dare not say just where he'd be on that fateful night. A secret it must stay. He reach the seas. Back in his arms again, she'll be over the hills and far away. He swears he will return one day, as sure as the river reach the seas. Back in his arms is where she'll be, over the hills and far away. She prays he will return one day, as sure as the rivers reach the sea. Back in her arms is where he'll be, over the hills and far
Ah, fun performance. I don't know, maybe just the sync was off. I don't know. I hate saying, oh, it's lip syncing because it's just such an easy thing to say, but I'm not sure. Either way, I enjoyed the performance, and I loved all the charisma on stage and everything. And I heard of Top of the Pops. We don't have that in the States, so I don't think I ever watched that when I was a kid. I don't know if it's still on or not, but I've heard of the show. Anyway, it was fun. I'm going to jump into the next performance from 1987. We're going to give it a go, and we'll see what that one's going on. I found one in Tokyo. I found him perform with the Chieftains. There's going to be some cool stuff coming here. So anyway, I'm going to jump right in the next one. Guys, I look forward to seeing you on that. Thank you so much. So this is the track again, Over the Hills and Far Away. This is live in Stockholm, 1987. I actually looked up the keyboard player because I've been really impressed with his performances thus far. And he was in UFO. His name's Neil Carter. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, man. Anyway, let's see what we got here. The Top of the Pops performance didn't blow me away as much as the 2010 one in Montreux, which is why I was like, we really need to do some more Gary Moore before we jump into other stuff. This is a longer version though. We got 6.5 minutes, kind of like Montreux, which is cool to me. Maybe there'll be some awesome guitar solo stuff. We'll see if they switch it up a little bit. Let's see what we got. Let's do this. See the cool special effects going on there. Okay, so this one's live for sure. I'm ready to get back into the groove here. I'm going to totally dig this.
They marched into the station house. We waited until the dawn, and as they led to the dock, we knew that he had been wrong. He stand accused of robbery. He had the pair of said he knew
good. I wanted it to keep going, but it's cool. We got more versions, so it is gonna keep going. I loved this. I don't know if I liked it as much as that 2010 version in the Jazz Festival. I thought that was really, really great, but this was so very good. I liked the spotlights. I liked the shadow of Gary behind him as he was running around the stage. I thought that was kind of a neat thing. I like the longer version for sure. The short version's cool. The hook is more pronounced there. But when you have the longer version with all that amazing guitar playing, it just gives the song and the breathing room that it needs so much because it's so good. There's no reason to make it 4 minutes. It's so very good. And now I question with all these covers that I'm about to jump into soon, did they do the 4-minute version or did they give it some girth? Did they give it some space? So we'll explore that in a little bit. We're going to jump onto the next one from 1987. I got a couple more. Let's do it. So on that last version, the last live version that I did there, they announced all the people in the band, and it said Eric Singer. And I was like, is that the Eric Singer from Kiss? And so I didn't say anything because that dude's American, right? So anyway, I just looked it up. It is Eric Singer from Kiss. I wasn't aware that he played with Gary Moore. So for you Gary Moore fans, you're like, duh, idiot. But we all got to learn somewhere. So that's cool. I did like the sound of the drums on the top of the Pops version. They had a wonderful, aggressive sound to them. It was a very open sound. It was a pop, 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 pop. So I noticed it, but I mentioned the keyboard player over it, didn't I? So I like the keyboard dude from UFO. He did really good on the backing vocals on that 2010 version from Montreux. Anyway, wait a minute. Sorry. Let's jump into this version. This is going to be something cool. This is with the Chieftains. Now, I've been digesting the lyrics a little bit, and it's pretty similar to the Long Black Veil, subject matter-wise, right? And so when I think of Long Black Veil, I actually think of the Chieftains. Remember, they did it with Mick Jagger on one of their albums. I had that as a kid, and God, I liked it so much. I really did. So nothing against the Rolling Stones. I like the Rolling Stones, but Mick Jagger did some really wonderful things outside the Stones that people should listen to a little more often, like that song, Long Black Veil. Anyway, let's jump into this and let's see what we got, and hope it's awesome. This is from 1988, I believe, so let's do this.
There's a young man over here, and he started out in Skid Row with Brush Shields and the late Phil Lynott. Last year he released an album called Wild Frontier, and in that he said about marrying the traditional instruments together with a lot of the electronic gear which has become so popular in the heavy rock scene over the last 10 or 15 years. And we reckon it was one of the first attempts to marry the two different technologies, as it were, and it was very, very successful indeed. Wherever you are at home, turn up your sound for this. Turn up the sound of your television for this. Turn it right up. Don't be afraid of it. Sit well back and turn up the sound. Would you welcome, please, Gary Moore?
So a little bummed because we're only 5.5 minutes left here. So I don't know how much we're going to get of guitar solos. But it's not 4.5 minutes, so let's see what we got.
They came for him one winter's night. Arrested, he was bound. They said there'd been a robbery. His pistol had been found. They marched him to station house. He waited till the dawn. Stayed there to the dark. He knew that he had been wrong. Stand accused of robbery. He back in his arms again. She'll over the hills and far away. She prays he will return one day. She'll rest the river, weaves the seas. Back in her arms is where he'll be. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and far away.
Hey, Taddy, what about that marriage between all that electronic gear, all that fabulous stuff? Do you reckon you're going to do more of that, or what?
No, not any more than what we're sort of at the moment. Gary has happened last year, and he had this little bit of a jig that he thought he'd like some fiddles and pipes and that in. So we went in and put it down and came out in a single that he had. And then they dressed me up in leather, would you believe, for the video. I was like Napoleon gone wrong or something. And this hat and all, it's just dreadful. I saw this thing happening. No motorbike.
That stuff is kind of frowned upon by the traditional devotees.
Well, within it there, he's a great guitarist and a great, tremendous soloist.
Yeah.
And we were having a bash at a few reels there earlier on. So he'd
Good
surprise you.
Good
Yeah.
player.
It's got to be a trip when you're standing right there. The main dude of the Chieftains or one of the Chieftains is sitting there talking about you. Even if you're Gary Moore, it's very cool, man. I liked this one a huge amount. I really did. I liked the end where they're popping their head. It was Neil, right? The keyboard guy, Neil, and Gary. They were in unison. That was very cool. I liked how he switched it up a tiny little bit. I made note of it, but they knew, they had set it up earlier that the Chieftains were going to do a whole little set in between the track. So he changed the way he sang it just a little bit so that they could come in and do their thing. So I knew it was coming because of that. That was exciting. I was listening to Eric Singer's drums again. And that pop, 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 just sounds really neat. It's like a marching drum to me, and I like that a lot. I just think this song's super, super awesome. I think a lot of me enjoying it so much, too, is there's so much neatness. Sorry, not the best word, but for having like guys like the Chieftains next to Gary Moore and marrying these two wonderful things together. Now, unfortunately, they're all passed away. It sucks, but this was a really neat performance. This was something special, and it made me think right now. The bands that we're going to jump into, I did find one more. There's Gary. I hope you guys are cool with this, but there's Gary performing this track again in 1987 in Tokyo. So I'm going to do that last. And then I'll jump into Nightwish, I think. But I'm wondering, because these performances are so very good, what was it that made Nightwish, Dan Vasc, Tommy Johansson cover this particular song? Which performance was it that made them love the track? Was it the music video? Or I'm imagining this was a pretty big hit because it's just so catchy and there's a bunch of performances here, some being on TV, so it's easy. Anyway, without further delay, Chieftains, yeah. But let's see what he did in Tokyo. Let's give it a go. I'll see you on that one. Thanks, guys. So this is going to be my last reaction to the Over the Hills and Far Away with Gary Moore performing it. I did look up Bob Daisley since I spoke about everybody else in his band thus far. I looked up Bob Daisley. Bob Daisley's pretty cool resume too. Tons of stuff with Ozzy Osbourne. I feel like I should have known that. I feel it because I should have known that. But it's nice to learn new things. So what a band, man. This guy had such a cool lineup. And he was so darn cool himself. I haven't mentioned Thin Lizzy in any of these. I did it kind of intentionally. I did a video the other day, if you guys didn't see it. It was on Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which just frankly pisses me off. And I mentioned Thin Lizzy a lot in it. It was pretty much for me, one of the main reasons why I think the whole thing's a scam. It's a joke. How could Thin Lizzy not be in your friggin' Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And someone wrote there aptly it should be called the American Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think it should just be called the American Hall of Music and Stuff. So anyway, watching these Gary Moore videos, Gary Moore should be in this Hall of Fame stuff too. But I think the guys that are really cool like this, they wouldn't give a crap over there in your dumb Hall of Fame anyway. Okay, there's my rant. This is from 1987. If you guys are really watching the chronology here, I did screw up a little in that I just did the one with the Chieftains. It was incorrectly put on YouTube as 1987 when I did a little bit of looking up. It was actually done in 1988. So we switched it up a tiny little bit, but I don't know how much it matters. But it was very cool to see him performing with the Chieftains. If you guys haven't seen that episode, check it out. Anyhow, let's see. This is the last one here for 1987. Gary Moore. I'm lagging because I don't want him to end. I wish I found more live versions because I love this track. But this is going to be it for now, and then we'll jump into Nightwish. Let's do this.
They came for him one winter's night. Arrested, he was bound. They said there'd been a robbery. His pistol had been found. Yeah! They marched him to the station house. He waited till the dawn. He knew that he was wrong. she'll be. Over the hills and far away, then she will return one day. She'll raise the river, reach the seas, back in his arms is where she'll be. Over the hills and far away, over the hills and far away.
Oh, the freeze frame. That was a perfect way to end this. Which was the best version? That was what I was thinking at the end. And I was all about to say Montreux I really loved, and the Chieftains was so very cool. But the guitar stuff at the end of this was very, very neat. Certainly all worth watching. I love me some Gary Moore. I want to say I always have, but no, man, this is all new to me. And that was just so very, very, very good. So it's cool to hear some of the people perform outside of some of your favorite bands. It's kind of neat. So Gary Moore, rest in peace, brother. God, you were so talented. That was so very, very good. And now we're going to jump into Nightwish, and I'm going to see what they did with it. I don't know. I hope I love it as much as I loved these, because, God, it's so very, very good. Which was your favorite performance? If you watched all of these, which is the one that did it for you, man? Or you can pick multiple like I did, because, boy, were they good. All right, let's jump into the next one. Let's see how songs live on, the legacy of music. And that's what happens when you write a great track like this. Everybody wants to perform it. Let's do this, guys. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing all of you on the next one. It'll be Nightwish. So hopefully not a bad decision here, but this is going to be my very first time listening to Nightwish perform Over the Hills and Far Away. Now, I only say hopefully not a bad decision because I've selected the official lyric version. Actually, it doesn't say official, but it's the lyric version here. And I'm doing it because I want to understand the words a little bit better before I jump into the official music video that I know is super popular. 37 million views. Whoa. But there's some stuff I'm aware of already. So I saw Gary Moore perform with the Chieftains here on the channel. It almost sounded like I saw it in person, but I didn't. You guys should check out that video if you didn't. And the reason why the lyrics are important to me is that there's a lot of clear similarities to the track, The Long Black Veil. Wonderful, wonderful track that I know of from the Chieftains. And so I wanted to listen to them first while reading the lyrics, and then we'll jump into the Nightwish music video. I'm a little nervous. See this? A little nervous because I'm hoping that they kick butt on this track. I'm clearly a Nightwish fan, and I'm sure Tarja crushes it. But Gary Moore was so very, very good. It will also be the first time, though, I hear it from a woman, from a female voice. So that'll be cool, too. Intrigued to see what Empu does. Gary Moore just thrashes the guitar. We talked about it before. I had a friend of mine, her name's Kelly, come on, and she bashed Empu. She said he wasn't a very good guitar player, and everybody got mad. It was kind of silly, gotta admit. I'm a fan, obviously. And one of the things that we all, a lot of commenters said is he doesn't showboat. It doesn't make you a bad guitar player because you don't showboat. The running time on this is 4 minutes and 56 seconds, so I'm wondering what he's going to do. Gary Moore does wonderful stuff in these tracks with the guitar, with solos and stuff. So this is all what's going on in my head before I listen to this wonderful song. Let's jump into it and let's see the lyrics. Let's check out Nightwish. Let's do this. So, there's definitely some guitar shredding going on here. I like that. With Gary Moore, I focused a bit more on the guitar, though, than I did in this version. What I think I took from this that I like the best is Tarja, specifically the letter O. Oh, I can't do it, sorry. But where she goes over, she's very operatic with the O in it, and that's very different than the original, and I like that operatic background to it. I'm still apologetic in my head for attempting to sing that O. Sorry. Sorry to all of you. I would sign off right now wherever you do. But I did. I dug that. I thought that was a really cool compliment to the track. I liked how they also, basically, they kept it the same. You know, they didn't stray away from any original too much. I love the sound of the drums. The drums sound a little different to me. Eric Singer had more of a popping sound, whereas here we have more of a quick beat, aggressiveness. He definitely put his own flair on it. So I like what Juka did here. Is it Juka? Sorry, I hope I got it right. Juka. But very, very, very cool. I'm intrigued to see the music video now. And I'm wondering in live performances what we'll find. Two different things. One, Marco singing this would be very, very neat for me. And everybody knows I like Marco a lot. And the second thing would be, do we extend any of this to include some more guitar solos like Gary Moore did? So let's see what we got in the music video, where I'm sure they won't do any of that, but we'll at least see a cool music video, and I'll get to see why it has 37 million views. Let's do this. This is going to be interesting because it's very short. This is only 3 minutes and 51 seconds long. So why is it so interesting? Well, I've been watching a lot of Gary Moore performances. He wrote this track. I fell in love with the track by listening to it, and I kind of like Gary Moore a hell of a lot better now. He did longer versions, 6-7 minute versions that I thought were wonderful. So we'll see how we can shorten this up. I think it's cool. Now, Gary Moore's music video was also a lot shorter than the 7 minutes that he would jam out on, by the way. So just being fair. I just listened to the lyric version. I wanted to listen to that first and kind of just listen to the song rather than focus on any music video. It says 37 million views, so it's a lot. But that's how I wanted to run it. Hopefully it was a good decision. Now, because I say big decision because the very first time you hear a track, it has so much. It's why we do the reaction videos, I guess. But it has so much that influence on where your head goes, your headspace. So the stuff I was wondering on the last one was live, what do they sound like? So I'm not going to hear that here, but I'm going to see a cool music video. And I'm intrigued to see if it sounds exactly like that lyric video did. So we'll do it together and find out. Let's do this.
They came for him one winter's night. Arrested, he was bound. He said there'd been a robbery. His pistol had been found. They marched into the station house. He waited for the dawn, and as they led him to the
So I know this is the name of a Nightwish album as well as a track. I got to look to see if it's their first album or not, and that's what I'm wondering. I know you guys are going to say, how could I not know that? He does all this Nightwish, but I'm not a music scholar. I'm just a guy who likes music. So Over the Hills and Far Away, it's definitely going to be one of their first couple albums, if it's not their very first, because they're so young in this video. The way they do it with the vocals being layered is more of an anthem than Gary Moore's version. Gary Moore's version was straight out kick-ass rock song, where this is more that anthem feel to me. And other than Juka just destroying the drums on this, they sound so good. It's really the Tarja show. It seemed to me like the vocals are the forefront of the track, and she just has that wonderful operatic voice where I mentioned the O's in this, that over the fields, that O. I loved that. So that's my 2 cents. Now, this is the exciting part because I'm going to get to hear them or see them perform it live for the first time, which honestly I've been waiting for. I did all the Gary Moore build-up and everything for that moment, and so we're going to do that together, and we're going to see what we got, and I'm sure it's going to be really good. Let's do it. Guys, I look forward to seeing you on the next one. So if you watched the last video, I said it must be one of their first albums because Over the Hills and Far Away is actually the name of one of their albums, so it's a big deal. I actually went and looked it up. You see, as these things come up in my head, then I go research it after. But at least the reactions are honest, and I learned it wasn't. It was an EP. It was not an album title. It also was nowhere near the beginning of their career, so I learned a little bit. But they are young in it, that's for sure. Now, this is a performance I'm familiar with, the evening at least, because this is the end of an era performance with Tarja's last show. So, with Nightwish, of course, not as a performer. This is going to be a really great way to check out this track for the first time live. It's only a runtime of 5 minutes and 16 seconds. I was hoping it would be like 7-8 minutes. I do like longer tracks, but also Gary Moore crushes the solos by elongating the song, and I was kind of hoping Empu might do a little bit of that, but we'll see. Thus far, I listened to the lyric version, and then I listened to the music video, which was cool, but I like live, guys. I like live, so this is exciting for me, and I want to see what all of these guys do with it live. I'm hoping maybe Marco jumps into the mix and sings some vocals. I'll find out. And I'm hoping Empu gets a little bit of time to rock out, man, on the guitar. Thus far, Juka just really hits these drums hard. And so, let's see what's going on with this track. That was everybody. Okay, let's do this. Real quick to give a brief. It was interesting when she began to sing, she said had. Did you hear that? And she didn't do the oh, so the operatic area. So she's singing it differently than I really thought she would. So that's interesting to me. The drums, dude, they sound really, really good here. Whereas before in the lyric version and the music video, it was like the Tarja show. But here, I don't know, man. These drums are just, Juka's just killing it.
The station house, waiting for the dawn. As they led him to the dark, he knew that he be wrong. He stand accused of robbery. He heard the baby say, he knew without an alibi, tomorrow's child will mark his freedom. Over the hills and far away, 'cause in the long years he'll count the days. in his arms, he swears she'll be over the hills and far away. Swears she will return one day. All from the mountains and the seas. In her arms, he swears he'll be over the hills and far away. She prays he will return one day. She runs the river, sweeps the seas. In his arms, he swears she'll be over the hills and far away. Over the hills, over the hills and far
Crowd approved. The editing was terrible. I just want to mention that before I get into it. That was really aggravating as it kept blowing in and blowing out. It was funny in that what I said in the beginning was totally like nonsensical crap, because as the song opened up, none of that really mattered. And that's why I don't stop the tracks as much, because I wait till the end to get the whole feel of the track. But I'm kind of glad I stopped it because it totally developed outside of that. Totally did do some guitar cool stuff on it. I prefer Gary more, but the guy did write the song. The guy is a guitar god, and I just really enjoyed that little bit. I was saying I was hoping Marco would get more into it and do some vocal stuff, because I really like Marco's voice. And he did that scream. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, yeah. And then he came back to the mic. But I don't know if the mic was working or whatever, but I couldn't really hear Marco singing. So maybe in other performances that we find here, he will be doing just that. I thought Tarja actually really crushed it. She really gave a fantastic performance here. I liked it, that one part where she just pulled out the mic and she did this. I thought that was bitchin'. Juco all the way through just really hits those drums. He obviously loves this song and attaches himself to it. There's just no question about it. It's a really, really wonderful song, and it's interesting to hear the new life that was brought to it from here. Another thing too, I saw in the comments somebody said I really should start mentioning that Marco is going to be going on tour with Tarja, and so I'm mentioning it now. I had heard that actually, but it is worth saying to all you guys. So maybe that's a show worth going to see. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to jump into the next live performance. But this was a heck of a way to start some really cool live stuff. Guys, thank you ever so much. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Tarja came quickly in this track and left quickly. So we did the music video with her, obviously, the lyric version with her too, and then the end of an era performance. The end of the era performance I did like. I liked it a lot. This has got a couple things that are going for it that I'm intrigued about. I'm hoping that go great towards what I like. One is at 6.5 minutes. I like longer tracks, and I'm hoping that Empu does a little bit more of guitar solo stuff in that extra minute or so of the track. We'll see. Second thing is with Annette performing. So when Annette came into Nightwish, what I'm finding through watching these is that Marco kind of stepped up a little bit, especially with the vocal stuff, right? And I like Marco's voice. I think also because Gary Moore performing it, I think I had heard that male voice so much. I'm looking forward to hearing it from Marco. Even though Marco did sing a little bit in that End of an Era performance, something was up with the mic or something. I couldn't quite hear him. And so we'll see what happens here. You guys ready? Let's do this.
Hit it, boys.
That's cool. Okay, before we jump into the track too much, totally digging the beginning here. Troy sitting in is awesome. This song is so perfect for Troy. Makes a lot of sense. So that's super, super cool. Also really enjoyed Empu's intro to this track. This was different than the End of an Era performance as well as the music video. It had that more dark and eerie feel that Gary Moore did in his version. So I like that. I also watched Empu run across the stage, which I thought was cool. I don't know, maybe minor, but I thought it was cool. So we'll see. Annette seems excited to sing this. I heard in the beginning, hit it, boy. So she seems pretty ready to rock and roll. Hopefully she does. Let's see what we got. This is going to be really mean. It might be the meanest thing I've said on any Nightwish video, but at this point, I kind of wish Annette would stop singing and Marco would just sing. It's so mean. It's so mean because I hate hating on her because so many Nightwish fans have no problem with that, and I think it's not cool. I think it's not cool. It's not that she's not good, it's that she's not great. It's not Tarja. She's not Floor. She's done a couple performances I've heard that I liked. But here, I kind of wish Marco would just do that full vocal himself because the band's crushing it. One of the nice things, too, when Annette came in, again, kind of mean, the guys stepped it up a little bit as far as the aggressiveness of playing, at least in my head, in my ears. I don't know, maybe. But that's how I always feel when I hear them. And I like hearing them, like, giving it that extra, you know. So, sorry, didn't mean to be mean, but it's what I'm thinking. Sorry, that was bad. That Night in Freedom she kind of cracked a little. You know, it would be cool if she's going to sing it the way she is, which is almost kind of like this punk element I'm hearing a little bit. You know, it'd be great if she sang it and then would throw in stuff like, come on! You know, getting the audience involved to jump into the mix with her. But it kind of sounds like she's just a karaoke singer. So mean. Performing with a Nightwish. Sorry. Perfect. I mean, such a perfect example. Did you hear Marco sing that verse, Annette? So Annette stuck to the track. She elevated her voice, and it sounded good. it just didn't sound great. There was no flavor profile to it. When Marco sang that, he's not going to be able to reach a Tarja note, so he kind of gave it his own little wiggle, like a snake or something. It made it cool. Put its fingerprint on it. That was an important moment right there that you guys hopefully picked up on too, because that was cool. So did you see at the very end there, Empu was a little bit tired. He was looking over. He was a little bit winded or whatever. I knew it wasn't going to happen because I can see the runtime. But at the runtime when I was looking there, at the very end there was chunk, 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 chunk. And I heard Marco and also Juke, and I thought, oh, maybe these guys are going to, really, let's keep going with the track. Let's get in deep. But I knew it wasn't going to happen because of the runtime. I feel so bad about giving crap to Annette. But at the end of the day, I'm giving I look at reaction videos as an honest opinion and even an uneducated opinion, because if you know it all, you've read Wikipedia. To me, it's just not as interesting. And so with her, I'm rooting for her. I wanted her to be better, but this was not one of her stellar performances. It was cool to hear Marco sing. I think he did an excellent job. And I really felt like Empu was like, Troy's here, my buddy. Let's do this. And at the end, they were actually right next to one another playing with each other. And I'm like, yeah, how cool is that? How cool is that? So I like the guitar better on this version than I have thus far in any of the Nightwish tracks. So I thought it was really good. And I'm blaming Troy for being in the mix. So very cool stuff. I liked this. Even though I knocked Annette, this was my favorite performance thus far because I thought the rest of the band did such a great job with it. And I got to hear Marco sing, and I like Marco, so hey. Guys, let's jump into the next one. Thank you ever so much. I look forward to seeing you on that one. Okay, this will be my first time hearing Jansen perform this track. I'm excited. I'm not quite sure what's going on here because there's photos and stuff I know because I kind of scanned through it to find a screenshot so that we could start, was it right there with the one I've got on the screen? I don't know how to do it, whatever. Right there. And I guess, but it came from the official channel of Nightwish, so hey. Anyway, this is live in Buenos Aires. We'll see what they do. The runtime's only 5.5 minutes, so there's not going to be as much jamming as I know I liked with the Gary Moore versions. That's what I thought was so cool, is all that guitar jamming. And it's a great song, of course, but anyway. Okay, those are some of my thoughts. Let's jump into this and let's see how the band does with Jansen. Treasure.
They came for him one winter's night. The rest did he was bound. They said there'd been a robbery. His pistol had been found. They marched into the station house. He waited for the dawn, and as they led him to the door, he knew that it'd be love. He's been accused of robbery. He heard the bailiff say he knew without an alibi tomorrow's light would brought his freedom.
Over the hills and far away, for 10 long years to count their days. Over the mountains and the seas, a Christmas light for him there'll be.
He knew that it would cost him dear, yet he dared not say where he had been that fateful night. A secret it must be. He had to fight back tears of rage. His heart beat like a drum. For with the wife of his best friend, he spent his final night in freedom.
Over the hills and far away, he swears he will return one day. Far from the mountains and the sea, like in her arms he swears he'll be. Over the hills and far away.
Over the hills and over the hills and
Over the hills and far away.
each night within his prison cell, he looks out through the bars. He reads the letters that she wrote. One day he'll know the taste of freedom.
Over the hills and far away, she prays he will return one day. As sure as the rivers reach the seas, like in his arms is where she'll be. Over the hills and far away, swears he will return one day. Far from the mountains and the seas, like in her arms is where she'll be.
Over the hills and far away.
She prays he will return one day. As sure as the rivers reach the sea, like in his arms is where she'll be. Over the hills
humor, a bit of humor. I'll tell you a story before we get into it. Walt Whitman, right? So Walt Whitman, if you guys already know this story, sorry, but Walt Whitman was incarcerated, was put in jail for not paying his taxes. When his friends came to visit him, and he said, "Walt, what are you doing in there?" And Walt Whitman looked out of this jail cell and he said, "What are you doing out there?" I love that. I thought it was so cool. All right, to the track. This was the best performance thus far by Nightwish, in my opinion. I think you guys are going to know why I'm going to say that, but it's because of Marco. To me, and maybe it's because I listened to Gary Moore so many times first before jumping to the Nightwish versions. I want that male voice. I want that gritty sound that Gary Moore had. I want that toughness, because to me it's a tough song. In my humble opinion, super humble, don't know anything, don't get mad, I think it would have been better if Marco always sang lead on this track with Tarja, Annette, and even with Floor. I love Floor. But I think that this song particularly would have been better with Marco singing lead, and it would be great to hear both Tarja and Floor singing backing vocal to him. I think that would have really been special. That's my opinion. I did like the rest of the band in this. Everything was really cool. I liked the guitar solo. Gary Moore's guitar solos were cooler, in my opinion, to me, but the guy is a guitar god. I said it in one of these before, so hey. Anyway, let's keep going here. Let's see what we got next, but that was a very, very cool performance. Oh, as far as all of the stuff with the photos and whatnot, I'm sure it's super cool to fans and everything. I just personally prefer to watch the videos of them performing and not have all that stuff in the way. So only negative comment. But it was cool. It got some laughs out of me. If you didn't see, there was some good stuff in there. It was fun. It's just great to see true awesome musicians perform. So, guys, thank you. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Pretty exciting moment for me. I had no idea that Tarja and Floor had actually performed together ever. And so this is going to be my first time watching the two of them. I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty into it. The track is a track that I've been reacting to a bunch of them. I think it's such a great song. It's by Gary Moore. If you haven't seen any of the other reactions, I've been loading them up like crazy. But this will be the first time watching these two. So let's give it a go. This should be killer. Let's do it.
Little but special.
Yeah.
I would love to share that with you. Let me introduce you. Come on. My long-term friend, Jansen. She looks gorgeous. My Lord. So here we are, and enjoy this.
So I wonder here if Floor is telling him, raise the vocal, lower the vocal. And I wonder if she's doing it out of respect for Tarja, or if she's doing it for functionality purposes. I think both vocals need to be raised, but it's a bit difficult here. We're not listening from the sound desk, so how the real true sound's coming through is, who knows.
Awesome. I have to thank you. See you people hopefully very, very soon again. It was amazing tonight. Thank you so much. And a big thank you on my behalf as well. It's been wonderful to sing with you, Tarja. You're a beautiful person. We have to keep it going. We have to keep it going. Music. We have to keep the love going.
And the music is the clue.
Yes.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you.
Wondered what was in the bag. It's an interesting performance, not just because Floor and Tarja are performing, for me the first time ever watching them perform together, but because of how very impromptu it seemed. I would guess they must have rehearsed this at least once during the day, as I'm assuming they had not performed together before, but they clearly didn't know very much where she was pulling her to the stage. There was nothing really set up, which I think made it neat. This is one of the cool things about seeing a live show, is you just don't know what could happen. And I really loved that. Also, it was very clear that Floor was trying hard to be respectful to Tarja by making sure she was the lead. Tarja was the lead. Tarja was the lead. And this is Tarja's show, and I think her backing band, from what I remember from seeing from other videos. The guitar solo was a little bit strange to me. I was trying to focus on the guitar solo, which was difficult because I was so excited to see the two of them together, and they were doing such a great job. But it was kind of a strange solo, especially at the end. Some of the stuff he did, I'm like, where's he coming with this? Again, very impromptu. So there you go. I thought the drums were a little bit loud in the mix. I would have preferred the vocals a little higher. But the two of them together, even though there's no question there was a lot of rehearse time, really worked well. Their voices really meshed so nicely together. And that was cool. That was really, really cool. Unfortunately, I think Gary Moore is probably deceased by the time this was released, but I bet he would have liked this. It's neat stuff. So I love it. What'd you guys think? Let me know. Did you like it? Obviously, there were some sound issues. It was funny. Raise it up, lower it down, raise it up, all back and forth. But at the end of the day, that was a cool performance. So guys, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. So this will be the last version of Nightwish performing Over the Hills and Far Away by Gary Moore. I did find one more with Tarja and her band, so we're going to jump into that next. If you were following all of these, this is actually before the last one. I did one with Tarja and Floor just performing together, which was in 2013. It was great. This is 2012, and it's in Manchester at the Apollo. Let's see if it's great. This is Fan Shop, and I'm hoping that everything presents itself really well. I obviously prefer to do the official videos as they're just, well, they're better put together, you know. So anyway, though, let's see. Maybe we got a little bit of gold here. Let's give it a go.
Arrested me for now.
again, I said in one of these other videos, but the end where Marco's standing here, boom, 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 boom. I'm just hoping the song will just erupt with them just jamming, because this song lends itself to that jam so well. But Nightwish didn't really do that in any of these performances. They kind of kept it clean. At usually about the 6-minute mark. I could listen to this track for, 15 minutes and be happy as can be, which is why I think I found this performance. I'm digging deep to get as many as I can because I like this track so very much. I think my favorite of this performance was when Troy was playing, and then it went straight into Empu's solo. I thought that was a wonderful transition. I really liked it. This is actually a really good performance. It's just the sound quality is kind of crappy. I'm going to try when I edit this to raise all the levels so you guys can hear it a bit better. It was really recorded low here on this release for whoever recorded it. I thought that the person who shot it actually did a pretty good job in general. There wasn't too much of zooming in and out like crazy and going all over the stage trying to catch everybody all at once. But I'm glad I watched it. I thought this was actually really good, and it was nice to get up front and close and watching them all play together. It was a solid show. This was really good. So we're going to jump into one last one with anybody who's related to Nightwish. It'll be the Tarja episode that I found. It's at Woodstock, so we could jump into that together. We could see what we got. I'm bumming we're almost done, but I found some covers from other people too, so we're going to do those as well. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. We're going to jump forward a few years here. This is 2016. It is Tarja performing, not Nightwish, but Tarja performing Over the Hills and Far Away by Gary Moore. I'm a little sad. It's my last version of this track that I like so very, very much. Thus far, I think I like Gary Moore's versions better, but Nightwish was really cool. You guys can be the judge. You guys can tell me if I'm crazy or not. I thought Gary Moore just crushed his own track. It sounds kind of nutty when you say that, but hey, you know. I guess it's happened where there's people who've done lots of songs and the covers have done better than the originals. It happens all the time. So anyway, let's jump in to see what Tarja did at Woodstock. Let's give it a go.
They said there'd be a robbery. His pistol had been fired. back in his arms is where she'll be. Over the hillside far away, his sweetest here will return one day. Over the mountains and the seas, back in her arms is where he'll be. Over the hillside far away, his grace he will return one day. Across the rivers, reach the seas, back in his arms is where she'll be. Over the hills, over the hillside far away. Over the hills, over the hillside far
God, what a way to end it, right? That was so good. It's what I wanted in the performance. It was loud, it was aggressive, the band kicked ass, lots of great guitar stuff going on. The light show was killer. Tarja sang it with the toughness that I wanted from the Gary Moore version, yet there was this homage value of what a great track this is. That was awesome. I enjoyed that more than any of the Nightwish performances. I just thought it encapsulated a little bit more of what Gary Moore put together when he did the track. Again, all this stuff is just my opinion. I don't know nothing about nothing, but I thought that was an awesome performance. Kept looking at the bass player, trying to figure out who he was. I was thinking it might be Alex Al. If so, that's super cool. If we don't know Alex Al, he was with Michael Jackson for years. He just looked familiar to me, the guy. I bought a bunch of pedals from Alex Al years ago, and I sold them. I did pretty well with them. Anyway, that was great. I was so happy to end this on a very positive note. What's coming next, though, are some other people that I'm going to be doing other versions of. So we've got some cool stuff. Dan Vasc, Tommy Johansson, and let's see what they do with this awesome track. But Tarja, in my opinion, hit a Grand Slam home run here. That was so very good. What a killer show. Thank you, guys. I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. So are you ready to jump into some other covers of this kick-ass Gary Moore track, Over the Hills and Far Away? I am. Let's see what other people do with it other than Nightwish. I love this track. I really have just fallen in love with it over the last couple days of listening. And I figured I was going to listen to Steve and the Seagulls first. I really liked what they did with Sleeping Sun with Tarja performing with them. It was really good. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, I highly encourage you to do so. Anyway, let's jump this together and let's see what we got. Steve and Seagulls, let's see what you do.
Hello! Said
the Seagulls from Finland.
That was fun. You know, I think the video itself took away from a little bit of the performance in that most of the shots were a distance away, and I wasn't able to get right up in there. This is an aggressive song to me. I want to hear that over the hills, and I want to hear the punch, and I was missing out on that punch because of the way the video was shot, but also a little bit because of the vocals. The vocals are... He's a kind of a chill vocalist. There just wasn't enough aggression, I think, in it. I did like all the instrumentation, but it just wasn't in my face enough for me to like feel it. So Steven Seagal's kicked butt. I like stuff. I love bluegrass and whatnot. I didn't think this was a grand slam home run, but I thought it was good. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Did you love it? Let me know what you think. Anyway, let's jump into the next cover, though, and let's see what we do. Let's see who we pick. Let's give it a go. I'll see you guys on that one. All right, here's another version of Over the Hills and Far Away by Gary Moore. Listen to some various covers outside of Nightwish just to see what other people did with the track. Now, I have listened to Iron Cross before. It was for a very cool track by Nightwish called Ever Dream that I like a lot. It's very, very good. Anyway, this is Iron Cross again. It's featuring a Beatrice Floria, who I'm not familiar with. Anyway, though, let's see what they do collectively here with this track. Let's give it a go.
They came for him one winter's night.
So I'm looking really closely, not to, sorry, I'm interrupting a solo, but I'm wondering if the kids are playing the solo or not, because the sound changes a little bit, and I'm thinking that a couple of the drum parts and the guitar solos and stuff might be put on top here. The vocals are the girls, but I could be way wrong. I'm not a sound guy, but it just seems a little weird. So I like the effort that they put into it. I like the duet. I think the two young ladies did a pretty good job right there. It's very Nightwish-esque for sure. I think that would be the rendition, not the Gary Moore version. But it says it right there, and they do other Nightwish tracks, so it makes sense, right? With the guitars, I'm kind of being a dick, because if I'm wrong, it's like, dude, we practiced this song for a while before we recorded it, and you're saying we're not even playing all of it. That'd be kind of not cool. But it just seemed to me like there was a little bit of funny business going on. A lot of it had to do with the way this video was shot. We keep pulling away from the guitar so you can't see these guys fingering. And I'm just wondering if there was a reason for that. You know, this music video too, you know, playing the instruments per se. So I just don't know. I don't know. But I thought it was a pretty cool version. And I think the strength was the two young ladies doing the duet. That was pretty cool. I would have liked the drums to be a little bit louder, man, in the mix. Just, you know, hit it hard. You know, this song is a banger. Bang the hell out of it. Go, dude, go. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. If anybody in the band's watching it and you worked your ass off to play this song and I'm wrong, say so, because I am the first to apologize when I am incorrect and I am not a sound guy. So anyway, guys, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. I appreciate it, and thank you. All right, here we are again. If you guys can't tell, I love this track. This is Over the Hills Far Away by Gary Moore. It's awesome. This is a young lady here, Patty Gurdy. I don't know who she is. It's got a lot of plays. It makes me think it could be awesome. Fingers crossed. Let's give it a go. Patty, let's see what you got, dude. Let's do this.
They came for him one winter's night. Arrested he was bound. They said there'd been a robbery. His pistol had been found. They marched him to the station house. He waited till the dawn. They led him to the dock. He knew that he'd been wronged. You stand accused of robbery. He heard the better say. He knew without an alibi, tomorrow's light would mourn his freedom. Over the hills and far away, for 10 long years he'll count the days. Over the mountains and the seas, a prisoner's life for him there'll be.
Oh, yeah.
He dare not say just where he'd been. A secret it must stay. He had to fight back tears of rage. His heart that like a drum. For with the wife of his best friend, he spent his final night of freedom. Over the hills and far away, he swears he will return one day. Far from the mountains and the seas, back in her arms again he'll be. Over the hills and 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 bars. He reads the letters that she wrote. One day he'll know the taste of freedom. Over the hills and far away, to Grace he will return one day. As sure as the rivers reach the seas, back in his arms again she'll be. Over the hills and far away, he swears he will return one day. As sure as the rivers reach the seas, back in his arms is where she'll be. Over the hills and far away.
Oh, yeah.
Hello everyone, Patty here. I hope you enjoyed this music video for Over the Hills and Far Away. You can now find this song and all the other songs that I have previously released on iTunes, Spotify and Amazon and so on. And stay tuned for more. My album is in the making. Yes. Subscribe. Bye bye.
Oh, I totally dig her. You guys should add her if you haven't already. I'm going to. I think she's wonderful. I really like this track. The only thing to knock, I wasn't too into the drummer. Sorry, drummer. Sorry. The very end there, I thought he was a bit loose and it was a little high in the mix. Why did I really like this track though? Because A, Patty Gurdy, you kick butt. That was super, super, super good. And what I liked about it was definitely 100% your own thumbprint. My issue with a lot of people doing covers is like, are you trying to mimic the person that you're covering or the entity that you're covering? Because if so, it's just karaoke, man, and that's not that interesting to me. Might as well listen to the original. This was not anything like Gary Moore. This was not like Nightwish. This was like Patty Gurdy. And I think that was a super, super compliment to both her ability and the rest of the people performing, but also to the track itself. It could sound a little bit different. We can mix it up, and it's still a really cool track, which I think it is. I loved that. I thought all of the instrumentation was super, super great. Sorry to knock you, drummer dude. Sorry. It was a little loose at the end, man. I was kind of like, you're kind of all over the place. Where are we going? But anyway, I'm a fan. I think that was great. Let me know what you guys think. If you're a big fan of the drummer and the rest of the band's no good, you can say so. Guys, thank you. I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Are we ready for a little Dan Vasc doing Over the Hills and Far Away? Heck yeah, we are, dude. I selected this track at first because Nightwish did it. I'm a big Nightwish fan. I like to do these videos back to back to back to back to back to hear like times 1,000 because I really like this track. And part of me selecting it and doing a bunch of Gary Moore versions and going into it was Dan Vasc because I really like what this guy does. Another one was Tommy Johansson. And so I'm going to check out what they did with this kick-ass Gary Moore track. Let's give it a go. Hopefully this is going to be awesome. Dan Vasc, let's do this.
They came for him a winter's night, arrested he was bound. They say that being a robbery, his pistol had been found. back in his arms again. She'll be over the hills and far away. He swears he will return one day, as sure as the rivers reach the seas. Back in his arms is where she'll be. Over the hills and far away. She prays he will return one day, as sure as the rivers reach the seas. Back in her arms is where he'll be. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and far
Please subscribe to Dan Vasc if you have not already done so. I have. I think he's really, really good. This to me was more Gary Moore than Nightwish as far as the covers go. I really liked it. I thought he did an excellent job. My issue with a lot of the other versions of this was I just didn't hear that angst, the aggression of the track and whatnot. I just wanted to be in your face and whatnot. And I thought, damn, it was pretty in my face, dude. There was some aggression there. He sang it with passion, man. It was cool. Personally, I think that it lends itself a little bit better to a masculine voice, a male voice, than a lot of the females, including Nightwish. Sorry, Nightwish fans, I'm a huge fan too, but I just like the male voice for this particular track. And so when Marco was doing it, that was very cool. But anyway, Dan Vasc did a fantastic job. I think Gary Moore would have given thumbs up to this one. I thought it was really good. Let's jump into the next one and see what we got. Oh, you know what would have been cool too? Maybe it's on newer videos of Dan. I've actually only reacted to maybe 4 or 5. And I like it when we see the guitar dude doing his thing too, because he's very talented. So I don't know, but that would have been cool to see the guitar guy pulling the licks. I love all that. So anyway, though, let's jump into the next one and let's see. We've only got a couple more versions and then I'm done. I got no more versions of this great track. I did a lot of them, but there's only so many to be found, man. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you on that one. This is Mina. I have heard of her. I reacted to one of her tracks before. She did a Nightwish track, and so she's a good singer. It was very good. So we're going to jump into this one. It's Over the Hills and Far Away. It is by Gary Moore. It was performed by Nightwish. I have found a couple other people that have performed it too. I just really genuinely like this track a lot. I've done like 15, 20 versions of it, and I'm not even close to tired. So let's see what Mina does with this track. Hopefully she puts her own spin on this really cool thing. Let's do this.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am Mina. Today I'm going to sing for you Over the Hills by Nightwish. Leave a comment down below to let me know what you think, and if you want to support me, please subscribe. Here we go.
Some great footage there. That waterfall at the end was like fake. It looked so cool. It was really great. I know not her gig, but the drums sound so good on this. As far as her, she did a fantastic job. She's a really gifted singer. The big issue I had a disconnect, and it's because I felt like she was just reading the lyrics and singing. And she was singing really, really well, right? This is clearly the Nightwish version, not Gary Moore. But it's just because you're reading, there's a little bit of a disconnect. If you're looking right into the camera and you're singing it with passion, you can feel the difference a little bit. And so that'd be the only thing I would knock a little bit. But she's really, really good. She seemed very sweet with her intro. You guys should definitely subscribe to her channel if you do not. And I think overall she did a pretty good job. I really do. So it's got to be hard, I think, too, when you're coming out with presumably a lot of material. I'm not very familiar with her work. But if she's coming out with a lot of videos, memorizing every word of every one of them, it's a bit hard, you know, man. And so there's that too. Anyway, guys, I think I only got one more. It's Tommy Johansson. Let's jump into that together and let's see what Tommy did with Over the Hills and Far Away. Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Not that I'd ever tell a lie to, well, most of you. I think it's actually the last line of my book. If you don't want to read my book, I think the last line is never trust a roadie. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I really do like Tommy Johansson, and part of me picking this track to react to was Nightwish. But then when I found out that people like Dan Vasc and Tommy Johansson also did covers, I was like, ooh, this could be fun. And when I watched Gary Moore, oh my God, the guy was so good. And it made me understand why Tommy's such a big fan, because I know he is. I know he's done other tracks of Gary Moore, and I think that Gary Moore was a very big influence on his guitar playing, right? Anyhow, I've listened to now like 20 some odd versions of this crazy cool track. Some of them are covers, some of them were Gary Moore live. It was awesome. I do question, I wonder what made Tommy pick this track or fall in love with it. Was it Gary's music video? Was it one of the live performances? What was it? Tommy sometimes watches. Tommy, if so, clue us in. Which was the performance that made you a huge Gary Moore fan? Or was it Thin Lizzy? Or is it all of it? You can plead whatever you choose. Anyway, what's going to be good? 7 minutes, man. A lot of the versions of this track are short. What Gary crushed it on, or the guitar solos in this track are so bitchin', especially live. So I don't think Tommy's going to be chintzy on us. He's going to do this whole thing because we got 7 minutes, man. And he's a fan. So that's why I saved, in my opinion, what I think will be the best cover. So let's do this. Before we really get into it, he's already doing the solo, so I'm a dick. But dude, red guitar, Gary Moore guitar, very cool.
Each night within his prison cell, he looks out through the bars. He reads the letter that she wrote. One day he'll know the taste of freedom. Over the hills and far away, she prays he will return one day. As sure as the river reached the sea, back in his arms again she'll be. Over the hills and far away, he swears he will return one day. As sure as the river reached the sea, back in his arms again she'll be. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and far
That was great. Please subscribe to Tommy if you guys don't already do so. All right, was it the best for last? Humble opinion, humble opinion. Yeah, I liked it, man. I like Tommy's version better than Nightwish. I love Marco's vocal in Nightwish. I really do. And the way Juka plays those drums is badass. I mean, badass. So those are my two favorite things about the Nightwish version. But here, dude, you got Tommy just destroying the guitar. Gary Moore was such an amazing guitar player on his stuff. I still think I prefer Gary more than anybody, but I mean, it's his track, you know, it was his track, so it was cool. What I liked about Tommy here was, I love the red guitar, had to stop and say something, you know, it's the full homage aspect. You can see he's this little giddy kid, just like loves Gary Moore and everything about Gary Moore. That's super neat. I love that Tommy did everything himself, put it all together. It just shows like a respect level. And at the end of the day, you know, you're a music fan. That's why I do it. I do it. And this is a killer track. It's a killer track. And I think that's what was going on in Tommy's head. And but the guitar stuff, I mean, was so good. Tommy did such a good job on that guitar. It was just so killer. It was what I was hoping for. I was going to say expecting, but it's kind of aggressive. But it was what I was hoping for. And I got it. I really, really liked it. So... thank you, bro. It was worth like 20 versions of this track to get to Tommy performing it. I just loved all of that. That was such a fun run for me. Hopefully, if you guys watched them all, I don't know if all you guys will, but I'm sure most of you won't. It's a lot of this track. It's probably like 2 hours of Over the Hill and Far Away, but I really dug it. I enjoyed this whole experience. So, guys, thank you ever so much. Tommy, you're awesome. And yeah, if you watch this, Tommy, clue us in and tell us for this particular track, what was the performance that made you want to cover? It was one of the live shows. If so, which one? Or the music video? Or maybe just the track, man. Maybe it was from a record. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll never know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing all of you on the next one. Hey, the podcast is over. What are you still doing here? Well, while you're here, like and subscribe. Thanks.